Jai Hind, my dear students. Welcome to your science class. Here is part 6 for you, and in this particular part we are going to see about uses of some metals and non-metals. So let's start with the use of iron. We are having two different types of iron. One iron is pig iron and second iron is wrought iron. Why this is pig iron, this is wrought iron? Based on their behavior they are showing. So this iron, this pig iron is hard and brittle, okay, and this is used to make sink, storage tank, railings and cylinder. Why we are using this to make these things? Because they are having high carbon content. Because of that they are very hard. Even because of their strongness also we are using this pig iron in these things, in making up these things. But if you talk about wrought iron, it is tough, at the same time it is malleable too. Okay, the very good property of any metal is malleability, ductility. Okay, so this is malleable, so that's why this can be used for making nails, chain and other agricultural tools. This is having less carbon content if you compare with the pig iron. Here it is having high iron content. Here it is here it is having low carbon content, and here it is high carbon content, which gives extra strength to the iron. Steel is another form of iron, you can say, because it is having content of iron, high content of iron in it. And if it is stainless steel, then it will have other things in it. Okay, so steel which contains 0.5 to 1.5% carbon, it is used in constructions of buildings, ships, bridges and railway lines. And stainless steel is used to make utensils, knives, and the things which are made up of stainless steel is very much common in our kitchen. Now the another metal is copper, very widely used. Copper, and it is mostly used in electric wires because of its conductivity. It is highly conductive, so that's why they are used in making electric wires. Okay, it is also used in heating utensils, car radiators and calorimeters, and it forms useful alloys. In upcoming slide or in next part I will tell you about what are alloys and how they are useful. Now another metal is aluminium, very commonly used metal. Nowadays we are making windows, other frame and railings and many things, even door handles are made up of aluminium. So it is again very good conductor, so that's why it is used in overhead cables. It is less costly than copper, so that's why we are replacing copper things with aluminium. Okay, it is also used in making cooking utensils. Aluminium foil is used for packing of food, and aluminium powder is used as paint to prevent rusting of iron. uh, Even there, if there is formation of aluminium oxide, then that oxide, aluminium oxide itself, is able to protect from the further rusting process or further corrosion. Okay, and dust of aluminium is used for protection of iron. Okay, and aluminium alloys are light and strong. They are light, at the same time they are strong. That's why they are used for making bodies of an engine part of aircraft and car. Now if you talk about zinc, this is used in the process of galvanization. You must be aware about the process of galvanization. When we cover iron with the thin sheet of zinc or coating of zinc, then that is known as galvanization. So it is used in coating iron sheets to prevent rusting of iron. This is known as galvanization. It is also used in dry cells, and it is used in preparation of alloys such as brass, bronze and German silver. I will give you certain examples of alloys and what are their constituent in upcoming videos. Okay, and very good use of metal lead is making electrodes. Whenever there is battery, there you must be aware about that there are two electrodes. One is anode, second one is cathode. So one is positive, second one is negative. So this electrode is made up of this lead. Okay, so the battery electrode is made up of lead. Chromium, very good. You must have that silver sign present on your cycle rim or its handle or the rim of a bike, or there are other chrome finish materials. So that is because of chromium. Okay, and it is electroplated on iron for making it corrosion resistant with shiny finish. So it works in two ways. First, it makes the iron corrosion resistant. At the same time, it increases its beauty, you can see. So the sign it gives, that increases its value. Okay, so the chromium is used there. Now nickel is also used for making metals corrosion resistant, and it is possible because of electroplating. Okay, now the use of titanium. It is light, strong alloys, and this is a corrosion resistant metals. So titanium itself is corrosion resistant, so that's why if we use titanium, there will be no effect of air and moisture, and that will make them long, it will increase its longevity, durability will increase. So that's why it is used for making bodies of aircrafts. Why it is used in aircraft? First thing, it is very costly, so ordinary cars cannot be made out of titanium. If it is possible to make car with titanium, it will increase the capacity of car. Okay, because it will be light, and definitely if it is light, then its capacity will increase. For aircrafts, it is very important for us to keep them light so that they can fly high with minimum fuel, and at the same time we need high strength. So that's why we are using titanium, aluminium. Okay, now the mercury, this is the only metal which is present in the form of liquid at room temperature. So this is used in thermometer and barometer. Now you just try to find out what are the use of barometers and why this mercury is used in barometer. Okay, now if we discuss about non-metals, they are equally important as metals. So there are certain non-metals which are used oftenly in our day-to-day life. So first thing is sulfur. It is used in manufacturing of sulfuric acid, and which the sulfuric acid is used in various industrial processes. Even sulfur is used in making fertilizers. Okay, the vulcanization of rubber is possible because of sulfur, and this process increases the durability of rubber. Okay, if we do this process, then it will increase the durability of rubber, it will increase the strength of rubber, and that is useful for making tires. Okay, and it is used in skin ointments because of its fungicidal property. If we apply ointment which is having sulfur in it, it will not allow fungus to grow on the wound. Okay, so that is one of the way we are using sulfur ointment. Now second non-metal is phosphorus. Phosphorus is used in making matchboxes and firework industries. Just try to find out which kind of phosphorus is used on the upper surface of matchstick or matchboxes, which we are striking and it burns. Okay, just try to find out. At the same time, it is also used in making fertilizers. That phosphate fertilizers are because of phosphorus. Okay, and sulfur also used in making fertilizers. Now very important metal is carbon. You know, this is the central element of all living organism, whether it is plant or animals. The carbon as a graphite is used in making lead, the pencil. Okay, and electrodes in dry cell and electric cars. Okay, dry cells are electric cars, and as a lubricant. At the same time, we need to know that graphite is an exception. It is a non-metal, but it is conductor of electricity. Okay, and as a diamond, you know, this is very soft in nature. But at the same time, if you talk about diamond, this is used in jewelry and making other cutting tools. For if you want to cut the glass, you need to have diamond, so it can cut the glass easily. And at the same time, normally we study that non-metals are not very hard in nature, but this diamond is an exception. This is one of the hardest material that is present on the earth. So same configuration, same things are involved in manufacturing of this graphite and carbon, but the way they are arranged, the carbon and hydrogen arranged in diamond and graphite, that increases the difference between these graphite and diamond. One is very soft and another one is very hard in nature. Carbon as a charcoal is used in filter to purify air and water, and carbon as coal is used as fuel. So here you can see that there are many uses of carbon. Now the thing is hydrogen. This is the last non-metal we are discussing here. So hydrogen is used for manufacturing of ammonia gas, which is used to manufacture fertilizers such as urea and ammonium phosphate. So till now we have seen that sulfur, phosphorus and hydrogen, all these things are used in manufacturing of fertilizers. Oxyhydrogen flame obtained by, here it is by burning, it is By. So by burning hydrogen in oxygen is used for cutting and welding metals. You must have seen that there are cutter, gas cutter. So hydrogen is also used in gas cutter. Okay, and hydrogen is considered to be a non-polluting fuel of the future. Now we are talking about electric cars, electric and electric. It is getting more highlighted. But in future there are chances that we may use the cars which are based on hydrogen fuel, because it is very efficient. At the same time it is non-polluting, it is not having any polluting effect. So that's what we need, the sustainable use of fuels. So hydrogen may be one of the best source in the future fuel. So thank you everyone, thanks for watching. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.